You're listening to Sapphire FM with Layal, and here with me today is Sam, who has a few shows coming up. But before I ask him about his shows, I'd like to talk to him about his experience in music. So Sam, how did you start getting into music?
My father was a musician, and so throughout my entire childhood I was surrounded by music, and then forced to go to piano lessons when I was about 6. And I really found that a kind of hard experience, I guess, learning music, but I kept at it. And then when I was about 13 or 14, I discovered bass and really loved bass. And so I started teaching myself bass and dropped all of my music lessons and just went on from there.
Okay, so who are your musical influences?
Well, influences was definitely my dad and my school music teachers at the times. But I also would say that I listened a lot to the Blues Brothers.
Yeah? Is there any instrument or genre that you like to play the most?
Nothing in particular, I don't think. I really love rhythm and blues kind of playing. I love good times music, stuff that makes you want to move and dance. So anything that's got a groove is good by me.
Yeah. So do you remember the first song that you performed in public?
Oh, first song I performed in public. When I was about 13, 14, I was probably more like 14, 15, I guess, what's that, year 9, year 10, I was in a little trio. Then we used to play a lot of folk music.
Yeah.
And I think we did a version of Horse with No Name by America.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's probably one of the first songs I ever played in public. It had 2 chords.
Do you play originals or covers more? And which do you like to play most?
I certainly love supporting any original music.
Yeah.
Most of my music and musicianship. Music work as a professional musician is performing material that is original material, whether it's my material or another person's material that I'm performing in. But I also play in a local band which does not only covers, that's most of our repertoire, but a few originals, called Mojo with Gary and Shane Jones. And I enjoy playing the covers scene. It's a bit of fun, and people really obviously get into music that they're used to listening to. But yeah, my true love is performing new music for people.
So you're a high school teacher at Eda Marine High School. How did you become a teacher, and how long have you been a music teacher for?
I started teaching when I was at university. I was teaching privately. I had about 36 students a week that I would see alongside my studies at jazz school doing bass. So I was teaching a lot of electric bass and double bass students, so on a private sort of tuition basis. Started that, but I was also teaching clarinet when I was in high school to younger kids, so I guess I've been teaching since I was about 14. But I think in the classroom context, I started in 2008, so I did a Diploma of Education in 2007 and then moved on to classroom teaching the year after that.
So what would you say is your biggest musical achievement, or what are you most proud of doing in the music industry?
I think sharing my experiences with new up-and-coming people and helping to foster them in an industry that's tough has been my highlight. Yeah, so there's been a lot of people that have I've been involved with, a lot of students that have gone on to do great things, and being there to support them in that early stage is really great.
Do you have any other favourite things about the music industry?
I think it's a good industry. It's a tough industry to be in all the time, and it's something that I think you need a bit of a break from, because in the music industry you're sort of doing 3 or 4 different jobs at once. You're running around setting up sound systems, you're doing all your marketing of your own shows, you're doing your business management, you're doing the performing side of it. So as a small operator or independent sort of person, there's a lot of different skill sets that you need, and it's not until you get fairly well known that you can start outsourcing a lot of that stuff. So that's probably the toughest part about the industry, but it's also one of the best parts because it can be really rewarding when you have success.
So what else would you like to give to the music industry? Is there anything you would like to change about the music industry, or is there any messages you would like to give to your audience, or any advice you would like to give to younger musicians?
I think it's great just to get out there and do it. I think that arts needs to be, and musicians need to be recognised for their creative process.
Yeah.
And I think that seeing that from a government level would be really awesome, recognising how important it is in our communities to have music, and it's a really important part of life. and say, that it'd be awesome if I could feed a family of 4 based on just performing music.
Yeah.
But that's not realistic in a family life kind of world at this point. It's so much travel and stuff involved in order to be like that it's not like I could just live in a small country town and make a living out of playing music. So that's why I teach, which I enjoy teaching. I'm not saying that teaching's a bad thing, but I am saying that, it's really hard. If I just wanted to be just a musician, I can't. And it'd be great to see that happen, and maybe it will. You never know.
So that was the last question. Thank you for coming here and taking your time to have this interview with me, and we'll take a break and we'll hear about your performances a little later.
Great. I'll enjoy the music.
No problem.